Oh, it's these guys again.
How much further must we heft this baggage? Any cell will do. Why not toss it in with this lot? They could use the meat. Well, what about us? My belly aches. His flesh is seared just the way I like it. Quiet! You two whimper like grunts fresh off the teat. He's not meant for jails. The hierarchs have something special in mind.
So already, more characterization for members of the Covenant than we've been given in all of Halo 1.
I feel like there's an actual dynamic going on, rather than just their targets to click on.
Fancy outfits. How do I get that job?
We might find out later.
Noble prophets of truth and mercy, I have brought the incompetent.
You may leave, Tartarus,
But I thought...
and take your brutes with you.
Oh, the brutes.
Ooh.
Aptly named.
Tension. Yeah?
The council decided to have you hung by your entrails and your corpse paraded through the city.
Sounds fair.
But ultimately, the terms of your execution are...
You ever just fuck up at work so bad?
You know where we are.
The mausoleum of the Arbiter.
Quite so. Here rests the vanguard of the great journey. Every Arbiter from first to last. Each one created and consumed in times of extraordinary crisis.
The taming of the Hunters, the Grunt Rebellion. Were it not for the Arbiters, the Covenant would have broken long ago.
Even on my knees, I do not belong in their presence.
Halo's destruction was your era, and you rightly bear the blame. But the Council was overzealous. We know you are no heretic. This is the true face of heresy. One who would subvert our faith and incite rebellion against the High Council.
Our prophets are false. Open your eyes, my brothers. They would use the faith of our forefathers to bring ruin to us all. The great journey is a...
This heretic, and those who follow him, must be silenced.
Their slander offends all who walk the path.
What use? I can no longer command ships, lead troops into battle.
Not as you are, but become the Arbiter. And you shall be set loose against this heresy with our blessing.
Fancy.
What of the Council?
The tasks you must undertake as the Arbiter are perilous, suicidal. You will die, as each Arbiter has before you. The Council will have their corpse.
What would you have your Arbiter do?
When we joined the Covenant, we took an oath.
According to our station, all without exception.
On the blood of our fathers, on the blood of our sons, we swore to uphold the Covenant.
Even to our dying breath.
Those who would break this oath are heretics, worthy of neither pity nor mercy. Even now, they use our Lord's creations to broadcast their lies.
We shall grind them into dust.
And continue our march to glorious salvation.
More characterization for the elites in the entirety of Halo 1.
So you say that, but like, more characterization for the Arbiter than
This
the
armor
Master
suits you,
Chief.
But it cannot hide that mark. Nothing ever will. You are the Arbiter, the will of the prophets. These are my elites. Their lives matter to me. Yours does not. That makes two of us.
So, welcome back to Cooperative Conversations once again.
And you are the blade.
Welcome.
Be silent and swift, and we shall quell this heresy without incident.
Okay, I think he's done. So, we have character, us, the Arbiter. We have motivation. We fucked up, and now we're being given a chance to fuck up someone else.
A heretic.
Yeah. We have sort of a location. We're in the atmosphere of the gas giant that the Halo orbited. Not quite sure what this actual facility is. We're not ever told that. But hey, it looks neat. It's got that thing in the sky. But there's something I'd like to talk about.
Oh, I feel a diatribe incoming.
So, before we get too much further in this Arbiter guy's story, I'd like to take some time to talk about someone named Tassadar.
Yep, it's a diatribe.
But even before that, let's introduce the Protoss themselves. The Protoss, from StarCraft, are an honorable race of highly religious, rigidly structured folks known for, among other things, having digitigrade legs and arming their warrior caste with blue energy swords. Some of them can also turn invisible. Now, the thing about the Protoss is that they really hate these guys called the Zerg. Who are they? Well, the Zerg are an ancient race of all-consuming organisms intent on spreading unchecked across all of known space, which they do by forcibly consuming and integrating with anything they come across. They're also controlled by a hyper-intelligent entity known as the Overmind. And yeah, the Protoss hate them. In fact, they hate the Zerg so much that they will scour the surface of any planet they find that has even a single Zerg life form on it, because that's just how out of control they can get. Such is what happened to the human colony world of Chao Sara.
I'm out here with a hint of my getting up and here and there.
And that's where Tassadar comes in. Because Tassadar, a High Templar of the Protoss, someone very high in status and even in command of his own fleet, was the one who did the aforementioned scouring of Chao Sara. And then a little while later, he also scoured the surface of the planet's sister colony, Mar Sara. Now, there's some plot stuff I'll skip over that isn't entirely relevant to what we're talking about right now, but the thing to take away is that Tassadar eventually comes to learn some things about the Zerg and the humans themselves, specifically two by the name of Jim Raynor
Marshal these parts.
and Sarah Kerrigan.
Lieutenant Kerrigan reporting.
But because he gets to know them when the Zerg show up at this other planet called Tarsonis, Tassadar lets Raynor and his crew escape.
The former executor, Tassadar, was commanded to halt the Zerg progress in the Terran sector by burning the infested human worlds. Unfortunately, he disregarded his orders and attempted to destroy the Zerg while sparing the Terrans from the flame. Clearly, Tassadar has failed us.
Which, as it turns out, is in direct violation of what is considered his sacred duty. The Protoss High Council, specifically a adjudicator named Aldaris, does not approve.
Tassadar of the Templar, by your actions you have severed yourself from the mercy of your brethren. You refused to destroy the Terran worlds as was commanded. You have questioned time and time again the sacred will of the Conclave, and you have abandoned your home world in its darkest hour. Most grievous of all is that you have allied yourself with the blasphemous Dark Ones, and learn to utilize their profane powers in tandem with our own. What say you, O fallen Templar?
Aldaris, I submit myself to the Conclave's judgment. But know this, given the same choices again, I would surely have made them. I have sacrificed all that our world might live. I have sullied my honor. I have discarded my rank and standing. I have even broken our most ancient traditions. But never think that I would for one moment regret my actions. For I am Templar, and above all else, I have sworn to protect our homeworld till the end.
So if some of that sounds a little familiar, all I can say is buckle up, because while we may be done with Tassadar for the moment, we're not done with him entirely, and we'll be coming back to this point in just a little bit. Because right now we're playing as the Arbiter, a totally unique character that we've never seen before.
Certainly a change of pace from Master Chef.
Yeah, let's head on in, shall we?
So, you know, we've got a decent motivation, interesting context for what we're doing, and, like, you know, we're here to take out heretics, so, you know, we already have an idea of what our enemy's motivation is.
Hate heretics, they're the worst.
Yeah.
The storm has masked our approach. Then it should have their local battle net in disarray.
We're getting to see how elites operate.
Yeah, although I take some issue with the storm has masked our presence. Like, High Charity is just, like, over there in orbit somewhere, right? They have to have been aware of that fact.
You gotta wonder, you know, why the heretics think it's a good idea to be spreading their slanderous lies so close to the literal capital of the Covenant power.
Engage active camouflage. Reveal yourselves only after the Arbiter has joined battle with the enemy.
Okay.
You may wish to do the same, Arbiter. But take heed. Your armor system is not as new as ours. Your camouflage will not last forever.
So yeah, instead of a flashlight, Arbiter gets camouflage.
Ooh, exciting.
So you get to play it stealth.
Nice. And
for about as long as you can.
Yeah, it doesn't last terribly long, like 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, it's quite short.
We see another new weapon already.
Yes.
Covenant Carbine?
So now we get to hit back on hey, they're creating like Covenant equivalents for a lot of the human weapons.
Yeah, which again, a fan of expanding the Covenant arsenal beyond 3 weapons, not a fan of just, oh, we added the battle rifle, so we'll add a laser version of it. Oh well.
I mean, it's fine for the player to use. It's a bit of an issue when you hand it to the enemy, but
yeah,
it makes the heretics feel a bit different at least.
But we do find ourselves in this facility, whatever it may be, and
well,
we're
given quite a bit to guess at for its function.
Yeah, it's got these conveyor belts, got these
big empty
containers.
canisters.
Oh, look, one of the grunts has hopped on the stationary turret.
Yeah, we got an interesting little battle set piece. We got these conveyor belts that you can stand on. You like move with them, and then you got moving cover in the containers.
Pretty fun. And we have a good opportunity here. So let's take a look at these heretics.
Yeah.
Because this is a entirely new, not really new, but it's another faction. Right, we're seeing, we have these Covenant that look like the ones from Halo 1, then there are these Covenant that look new and different, and I almost hate to say it, but a little like something out of Unreal, with the way the armor texture is like grungy and really obviously metallicized, with like rivets and glowy status lights.
I can see what you're talking about. They've got these rebreather thingies. I guess because we're on a gas giant, you probably need those.
Do we have any of Oh, okay.
No, well the grunts do, but that's because they need those.
And why is that, Skell? Because I'm sure the game will not tell us.
Ah, right. Grunts, they breathe methane gas instead of, like, oxygen, nitrogen, like everything else in the universe, apparently.
Well, I guess there's one way to excuse your bad breath. Oh,
Yeah.
and the canisters are just falling down this pit.
But yeah, that's something that's mentioned in the supplemental material.
Hmm.
I don't know, it might have been in one of the game manuals too, I'm not sure.
We do see little packs. These are like energy plasma packs on them. Can I help you? The energy sword has a lunge, by the way.
Yeah. So, hey, we finally get to use the energy sword. We didn't really talk about that either.
No, it's got ammo, which is interesting for a sword, but whatever, game balance. Although, you know, talking about these rebreathers again, it must really suck to just have to jam them directly down your esophagus.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's comfortable to wear or speak with or use in general.
I kind of feel like someone at Bungie drew these elites, and then it came time to, like, put armor on them and have them talk, and they're like, crap. They don't have a lower jaw. Oh, well.
Look, we gotta get our Predator/Alien reference in there, alright?
Yeah. Alright, down an elevator.
Sentinels, the holy warriors of the sacred range.
Ooh.
Why have they sided with these heretics?
Why indeed? So, intrigue? There's developments?
We see the Sentinels again. Oh. One of them was carrying a canister and then promptly dropped it. We see a thing here. This is a
Clear the hangar and open its doors, so I may drop the second lance.
little spaceship.
But did you hear that on the radio? We have a little mini objective.
Yeah, something to do. Also, we see Halo 2's interpretation of the Forerunner architecture now, which it's a little more involved, less blank. The textures are a little more detailed. We got like scratches on stuff. We'll see more of it later, of course, but it's a cool expansion of what we saw earlier. Oh, Phantom. But it's a friendly Phantom.
It's a friendly ghost.
Now we have the horrifying firepower of it on our side.
Boy, is it horrifying. Oh. Hey, look, fuel rod guns.
Oh, did they explode this time?
No, you can pick them up.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so both Covenant weapons that were kind of quote-unquote dummied out from the arsenal in Halo 1, you know, the enemies could use it, but they just blow up when the enemy carrying them died, are now available for player use. Fuel rod cannon works a little different in this game than it did in Halo 1, when you saw it in the multiplayer for PC. It's now magazine-based. It doesn't arc as much. Oh, I've been laser sorted.
Oh dear.
Holy prophets, where did he get that?
It also has that bounce before the charge arms, so you can sort of English it around a corner if you need to.
Yeah. That lunge is a heck of a thing.
It's fondly remembered.
So anyway, yeah, we see more of these conveyor belts. We saw obviously the Sentinel carrying this one and then dropping it. So it seems to be kind of a processing center, I guess.
In a gas giant, maybe they're refining the gas.
Possibly.
Well, here's the thing. That's something we can guess at with the context we've been given.
And there you go. We saw the empty ones being loaded down and tumbling. Now we see these that are full. They blow up. They're going elsewhere. And yeah, again, we can look at this, like you said, and say, I wonder if this is, or, maybe it's this. It's no longer, well, it has the bridge controls, so I guess it's the bridge control room and nothing else. Oh, and I see a new weapon on the ground. Another new weapon, the Sentinel Beam.
Ooh. That's cool.
It is. Halo 2 just throws so many new weapons at you.
Well, I mean, you're being bombarded with new weapons. You're playing as an elite, fighting with other elites. It's, they're really pulling out all the stops here.
But inevitably, it has to come back to hallways.
It always comes back to hallways.
Halo has hallways.
Halo has always.
That rattled my teeth. An honorable
Oh, one of these was carrying Sentinel Beam. It burned through enemies pretty quickly.
So yeah, now we've got an open room with more energy conveyors. Oh!
Was that you dying?
That was me exploding.
That's a shame. So something else, the Heretic elites have different colored energy shields, so you can tell them apart while you're shooting them, which is cool.
They put some thought into it.
Doesn't always help, just because, kind of reflexively shoot something elite-shaped.
That's why they work to break up their outline with the little wings on their costumes and that.
And that shows a conscientious design. I mean, it doesn't always work just because, player error. I see an alien, I shoot it. I'm a red-blooded human. I promise. But, okay, so Halo has hallways, right? But this hallway has things to break up sightlines.
Alcoves.
It has more than just the same stacked 90-degree downward spiral that's a little larger. Even though we can't go through them, there are other doors visible that do suggest other parts of this facility exist at all. You say what you will about real fake doors, but the addition of that suggestion, right? The existence of something telling the player that the world is bigger than what they're currently experiencing. If this was just if this from here to here was just a flat wall like it was in Halo 1, we'd be saying the same things. We'd be saying, well, I guess this is just where they keep the hallways. But this feels like we're actually going deeper into a facility.
Well, that's the other thing that's really helping. The layout makes sense, right? It's spiraling downwards. And we are moving, like, our stated goal is to move deeper into the facility. We move further down and we find another one of these, conveyor rooms.
Yeah. And it's a little more spacious. It has these... I guess it's a two-tiered room with a thing in the middle. But... we're getting a change in the enemy encounter. Now we're fighting more Sentinels alongside of the elites. We're getting the opportunity to use those Sentinel beams. It just shows a consideration that Halo 1 didn't have. We're moving from room to room, and they're different rooms.
I mean, they've shared similar assets, but I don't think any of these rooms have shared the same layout.
And, like, this one is pretty similar to one we were through before,
Only the
but
weak betray their blood.
just as we're getting tired of the same rooms, what's this? Hey, it's that guy we're
Hey.
sent here to kill.
Brothers, I will defend the Oracle.
Defend the Oracle?
Huh. Well, I guess there he goes.
Well, hey, there's that guy we're here to kill, and we watch him take off. So, you know, we're given a reason to keep pushing through the area, right? It's not just, hey, we're moving through these boxy hallways just because.
Exactly.
We want to go get that guy.
And let's see how we go get that guy. There's a hallway over here. Hey, does this lead to...
mobilizing their air forces, Arbiter. Get
Huh.
after their leader, but watch your back. I'm sending one of our bandits to support you.
So now, yeah, we got the Heretic Banshee.
Where did they have the time to repaint these things? Well, whatever.
Who can say? It's functionally identical to the regular Banshee.
Sure is. And again, like the Ghost, it fires a bit faster, a little more accurately. Still has the fuel rod secondary. But now it's a little more acrobatic. You can do rolls.
You can do aerial maneuvers while listening to the finest butt rock from the mid-2000s.
Hell yeah. So now we're outside this facility. Like, we can see, oh, you know, we came down this, right? We came down this little stalk here.
Until we find the heretic leader.
We remember doing this, and we see, like, wow, that must exist in all these other little things. And you just fly around this entire area.
It's a huge area too. Remember, this game released on the original Xbox. Like, it's not, you know, earth-shattering. There was stuff on the Xbox that had wider areas than this, but considering what we were just doing, right?
Oh, I kind of accidentally...
And get inside.
Whoops,
dear.
incoming fuel rod fire. Kind of accidentally found my way to the correct area, but we see, like, oh, you know, we're chasing after the Heretic leader. There's the Banshee. That's how we know he came here, because there's an empty Banshee parked outside this location.
Normally, you'd follow the Phantom around, and it would take you from, like, emplacement to emplacement while you're trying to find the leader. It's pretty cool. It's a nice little set piece.
It is. It's, again, just more interesting all across the board. No. Well, I deserve that. Okay.
Well, someone's not getting back out of here.
Oh, there are two Banshees.